Welcome back to Unwatchable, episode 5. The New York Mets have signed Devin Willaims. Yes, indeed, the New York Mets are trying to expand their bullpen. They have signed Devin Willaims, who, numbers on paper, look pretty good. In Milwaukee, he was an all-star closer. He was a stud. His changeup is untouchable. His fastball was fantastic. Mainly the changeup. That's really what mattered to most Milwaukee Brewer fans. Until 2024, where he saw a couple of injuries, he had that back issue, until ultimately his Milwaukee farewell was met at the hands of Pete Alonso. Yes, indeed. And therefore, Devin Willaims was known as Pete Alonso's bitch. So the New York Mets have signed him to a 3-year deal, $50 million worth, which I got to tell you, as much as I'm trying to look at the positives of this signing, I just can't see a whole lot. Devin Willaims, like I said, numbers on paper look pretty well for the Mets, but I just don't trust him. And the reason why I don't trust him is what he did in New York already with the Yankees. He had a horrible 2025 season. A really, really bad 2025 season. Now, I made a reaction to this video, to the signing last night. I posted the video. I may have taken it a little over the top. So this is what I said regarding last night. Again, if I'm looking this way, apologize. I am just trying to get this laptop set up. This is what I had to say about Devin Willaims last night.
All right, Devin Willaims is a Met. Shrug? I don't know. This is a very confusing signing to me. You know, if you're using him to replace Edwin Diaz, that is really, really shaky. If you use him as a setup man for Diaz, it's a little bit shaky, but not as shaky as him closing games out. I don't know. It wasn't a good 2025 year for Williams with the Yankees. He was openly benched out of the closer role. It's just a confusing one. David Stearns, I think, just has an obsession with Milwaukee players. And, well, I guess we'll see where this horrible contract lands. 3 years, $50 million. It kind of almost reminds me of that Frankie Montas deal, where if he sucks, you're stuck with them. So let's see what happens, I guess. Let's go, David Stearns. Real champion you are.
All right, so a lot of things I said there. I mentioned possibly replacing Edwin Diaz, which I got to tell you, I really do not want to replace Edwin Diaz. I feel like Edwin Diaz is the god of closers. That is what I strongly believe. People are allowed to disagree, and if those people disagree, I am not going to argue with them. I'm not going to fault them because we are all entitled to our own opinion. The reason why I say Edwin Diaz is the stronger closer than Devin Willaims, well, the numbers on paper right now. Edwin Diaz's 2025 season, he had again, if I'm looking this way, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the other computer. 163 ERA, 98 strikeouts, and 66.1 innings pitched over 62 appearances. He had 28 saves and a .87 whip. He allowed 12 earned runs on 37 hits, 21 walks, and 4 home runs. And his stats, 62 games pitched, wins and losses, 6 wins, 3 losses, ERA 1.63. Already got that covered. And as compared to Devin Willaims, who had his worst year for the Yankees, keep in mind a New York team, 62 innings pitched, 4.79 ERA, 18 saves, 13.1 K per 9. So I understand the numbers don't decide the game. But when you take a closer like Edwin Diaz, who has, again, in my opinion, been the best National League closer since 2022. Not 2024. He had that little up and down spurt where his legs were 2 different sizes. He obviously struggled a lot there, but he didn't find it again. But I got to say, his 2025 season, I say, is much better than his 2022 campaign. So, if Devin Willaims is replacing Edwin Diaz, I can't see that as an option. I just can't. And the reason why I said that is because, well, the numbers right here. Edwin Diaz is the superior pitcher. Devin Willaims, if you remember by the Yankees, was moved out of the closer role. a bunch of times. He had the original closer job. He lost it, got it back, and lost it again to the point where they didn't even want him closing games out. And this in the postseason, they didn't even want him closing games out. That's bad. That's a bad look for a pitcher who had been very dominant. Again, I'm not trying to knock on Devin Willaims here, but I can't trust a closer. If he is coming in to replace Edwin Diaz, I cannot trust him as a closer to close games out. Only because he has shown to blow games, especially with the Yankees. Not as much in Milwaukee, but especially with the Yankees. And if you want to go game 3 of the NL wildcard, Pete Alonso, we got to hope he signs back. I can't trust him at all. But the changeup is nasty. That is a good, very good fucking pitch. But I really want Edwin Diaz over Devin Willaims. Now, the Mets claim they are still interested in Edwin Diaz, which I got to tell you, if you are interested, I have no problem with the Mets signing Diaz and Williams, but I would rather see Edwin Diaz sign first than Devin Willaims sign first, because my automatic reaction was, okay, he's the new closer for the Mets. But they said they're still interested in Edwin. We're going to see what follows up with that. So, I also mentioned something about Devin Willaims being the step-up man for Edwin Diaz. So, therefore, he comes in, okay, let's say the 7th, and 2 outs of the 8th inning are his. That's perfectly okay. But I do have some flaws with it. When the Yankees tried it with them, he had a little 50-50 action. He was good, and then he sucked. So, you really got to hope you get the more dominant part of Devin Willaims in his Milwaukee days. You don't want the Devin Willaims from his Yankee days, because if that's the case, then you are going to get games that you won't even need Edwin Diaz to pitch, because the team's going to be up 7-0 in the 8th inning when Devin Willaims comes in to pitch. That's what happens if you get Yankee Willaims, excuse me. Now, is Edwin Diaz going to walk? I am not sure anymore. The offseason of baseball, it is so unpredictable. Dylan Cease earned a 7-year, $200 million deal from the Blue Jays. That's insane. I don't think the Mets are going to give that to Edwin Diaz by far. A closer, I don't think is going to get that much. But I would like to see Diaz get a 3 or 4 year deal. Now, another thing I said in that video, almost like the Frankie Montas signing. Contract-wise, I mean. It is a pretty bad contract. 3 years, $50 million. If he sucks in his first year, you're kind of stuck with him. Unless you try to trade him or, pull if Frankie Montas do it like that and DFA him. But I can't see, especially with David Stearns and his Milwaukee player obsession, which, oh my God, like I said, it is just continuing. Like I said, Devin Willaims, Frankie Montas, Tyrone Taylor, Omar Narvaez. It just continues. Ben Gamble at one point. It just continues on, which David, the signing looks good on paper. We got to see how it plays out in the games. I can't take it anymore of David Stearns trying to revamp his Milwaukee players. Tyrone Taylor, I love. Tyrone Taylor is going to be our center fielder because we offered him a contract and we didn't just offer him. We gave him one and he took it. I love Tyrone. Frankie Montas, go fuck yourself. Omar Narvaez, go fuck yourself. Devin Willaims, I'm still saying go fuck yourself. Only because Pete Alonso took you deep. Which, another thing on this, guys. Met fans. When Alonso took Williams deep, the amount of shit that Met fans were talking about Devin Willaims. Then in the offseason, Williams signs with the Yankees. They changed their facial hair policy because he said he didn't want to play for him if he had a shave, which he ended up shaving anyway and looked even more hideous. Met fans start clowning Yankee fans about the signing of Devin Willaims in the 2024 offseason. Met fans clown them. They kept posting videos of Alonso hitting a homer, which I was one of them. Now, with Williams coming to the Mets, Met fans are praising this signing. So, Met fans, I am all for getting a good player. Like Jesse Winker, for example, he didn't have to fuck us anymore. Because always on a team with Jesse Winker, he would end up fucking the Mets. but Met fans are still posting the Pete Alonso homer off Devin Willaims and saying, this is the guy we got. Hooray, great signing. You can't be posting that. In my opinion, you can't be posting that. A guy coming to the Mets, and you're posting a Met player hitting a home run off him. That, to me, is just a bad look. My reaction was, what the fuck? That was my reaction. Because I didn't want Devin Willaims, and I still don't want him. They're almost trying to do that Ryan Helsley thing that didn't work out, which he's to the Baltimore Orioles, which, oh my God. If he's going to turn out to be great, though, watch. I'm telling you right now. I don't want Devin Willaims. I'm sorry. And I'm going to get hate. And guess what? I don't care. I don't care at all. David Stearns, and we're going to talk a little about him. The president of baseball operations, the Harvard alumni, total winner. And I say winner as the most sarcastic thing in the world, because he's not a winner. He hasn't won anything yet. Proved himself a little bit at 24, but a bad offseason, a bad trade deadline in 2025. This offseason, it's all right. The Marcus Semien trade, which I don't understand still. And now this. I would appreciate it if Stearns is going after more starting pitching, because first of all, if Sean Manaea can't get to 3 innings, what in the world thinks you're going to be able to get to Williams or Minter or anybody else? But I guess we will find out in the season when Devin Willaims is blowing games. Another thing about Edwin Diaz. Apparently, according to everyone, he is a top landing spot for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Now, I got to say something. If the Philadelphia Phillies were smart, they would sign Diaz as their closer, and Diaz would probably, again, have a career year. Which I'm telling you, it's either going to be the Dodgers or it is going to be the motherfucking Phillies, and Diaz is going to have a great season. One thing about Pete Alonso. Saw today, actually, that the Red Sox are going to offer him a monster contract. There is no proof of it yet, but the Red Sox do look like the top landing spot for Pete Alonso, which David Stearns, again, I'm going to say it again, you claim you're interested in all these fucking players, throw them an offer. Throw them an offer. You claim you're interested in Bellinger, you're interested in Tucker, Framer Valdez, Diaz, Alonso, throw an offer at him. It should not come down to Cohen and his wallet. Steve Cohen is worth $4 billion. And when this casino gets built, he's going to be worth double that. Maybe even fucking triple. It just should not come down to Cohen's wallet. Throw an offer. You are not in Milwaukee anymore. Throw an offer. Fuck it if they say no. At least you tried. Because I'm sick and tired of sitting back and seeing all these players that the Mets could have fucking signed. For instance, Iglesias. David Stearns claimed he was interested in him. No offer was ever made. Throw him an offer. Hey, 4 years, $100 million on the table for you. No, you don't want it? You taking a better deal? Good luck. At least fucking try. Which, okay, the Devin Willaims signing. It's pitching. He's not a great pitcher anymore, at least. You know what? Screw it. He is a good pitcher. But I do not want him as my closing pitcher. I cannot do that to myself. Because Devin Willaims, you suck. You sucked with the Yankees. But I am hoping for Edwin Diaz to come back. I am hoping for Pete Alonso to come back. And if they don't, best of luck out there. And like I said, David Stearns, you're allowed to expand your market past former Milwaukee players. And I'm going to keep getting on him about it. People aren't liking it that I'm saying this. I don't fucking care. I really don't. Because when you sign all these former Milwaukee players, I mean, just look at the list. Williams, Taylor, I love Tyrone. Ben Gamel, Trace fucking Thompson. Who the hell was that? Let's keep this offseason going. Like I said, I can't see Devin Williams be my closer for the Mets. If he's a setup man for Diaz, okay. Cannot be my closer, though. That is the end of this video, guys.